Welcome to From Weeping to Warrior, Igniting Freedom with Roshawn Nicole, where we talk about all things mental health, awareness, and wellness. I'm so glad you're here to episode 3, where we have some exciting information that we're going to talk about today. Now, before we get started, I would love to invite you, if you have a Weeping to Warrior story of overcoming challenges and triumphs in your life, I would love for you to be a guest on the show here. Hit me up at info@RoshawnNicoleWellness.com. We would love to have you. If you are a therapist or working in the mental health or wellness space, we would love to have you as well. So please hit us up, and we would love to consider you to be a guest on the show. So I'm glad you're here today. If you're watching, it is Mental Health Awareness Month. May is a time for us to talk about mental health and spread awareness. And so this month, we are going to be talking about some strategies of what you can use in your life to combat, overcome mental or stress in your life, or what you might be going through. And so today, our topic is hormones and burnout. Why you're tired, wired, and overwhelmed. Okay, so I'm gonna say that again. So it's hormones and burnout, why you might be feeling tired, wired, and overwhelmed. So now we talked on episode 1, we talked about how burnout is a spectrum, right? And burnout does not discriminate. So anyone can experience burnout, and you could be at any phase in burnout, the beginning phase or the phase where you are truly in deep exhaustion, deep burnout, okay? And so today, I just want you to think about, if you have ever felt, and I have my notes here, okay? So have you ever felt exhausted all day? You're dragging through the day. And so you might be an educator, because that was the space that I was in, and you might be dragging through meetings, through emails, or in your profession, your career, you're just dragging through the day. But the moment your head hits the bed, hits the pillow, that's when your brain turns on, and you might be thinking of like, oh my gosh, all the things you need to do, all the things you haven't done. Your brain is racing with thoughts. Have you ever felt that? Well, it's pretty common among any profession. And so as educators, we know that our day is busy. And so this is not just stress, but this could be your hormones that is out of rhythm. And so today we're going to talk about cortisol, which is your body's natural energy and stress hormone. So we're talking about cortisol today. And cortisol could be, you could have too much cortisol or too little cortisol, and that could be why you might be feeling wired, tired, or overwhelmed. So I'm going to talk about what cortisol is, and I'm going to use, I told you I was in the classroom before, so I do have some props here. So don't laugh at me, but this little stick here is going to represent cortisol. Okay, and so cortisol is your body's natural energy and stress hormone. We need it. But if we have too much of it, that's not good. If we have too little of it, that's not good. It needs to be in range. And so it lives in the adrenals, okay? And the adrenal sits right on top of your kidneys. Now, cortisol is like a phone battery. So I'm going to use this analogy. It's like a phone battery, okay? When it's working right, you have energy when you need it, okay? And when it's off, either you are feeling drained, so that's like a low battery, or you're overstimulated. That means that's too many apps that's running in the background on your phone, okay? So when you are consistently stressed, okay, so let's talk about you have to lesson plan. Let's talk about you have to, there's emails you have to read and go through. You have principal meetings, you have conferences, you have lesson planning. You get the point. When you have stress that's building up on top of stress, cortisol begin to produce too much cortisol. And too much cortisol, that's when you start to feel symptomatic. You might start to feel fatigue. You might start to feel like you're having a hard time falling asleep and staying asleep. You might feel anxious. And so I just want to talk about what that actually might look like in your body, so then you can kind of visually see what cortisol might be doing and why you might be feeling exhausted. Now, if you were like me, when I was in the classroom, I was exhausted. And I remember waking up in the morning and feeling completely exhausted. And the first thing I would do, what is the first thing most people do? Maybe you might be like me, run to coffee. So I ran to coffee, and then I would get a little bit of energy, and then I would feel that crash. And I was like, around noon, I'm like, I need another cup of coffee. And then I might reach for some sweets or for some chocolate or for some caffeine throughout the day just to sustain my energy. And then at night, I just felt like, I'm exhausted. I just want some sleep, but just racing thoughts, feeling anxious, and then feeling like, oh my gosh, if I don't sleep or get a good night's sleep, how am I going to go in the classroom and show up for my students? So I want to show you visually what might be going on in the body when you might be feeling like your cortisol it might be dysregulated. So I want to show, this is my first time doing this, so I don't know how this is looking here on screen, but you're going to see I have two different lines here. Okay, the black line is a normal curve of what cortisol should look like, a healthy curve of what it should look like in a day. Okay, the red curve is a burnout curve. And that is, and actually, as you notice, it's flipped. And I'm going to show you exactly what's going on in the body here. So we're going to first start on the black line, which is the normal curve of what cortisol should be looking like throughout your day. So when you wake up in the morning, levels spike around 30 to 45 minutes after waking. Okay. And that's normal. And cortisol is supposed to gradually decrease throughout the day, with the lowest being right around bedtime. You want it to be low around bedtime, because if you have too much cortisol, then you're going to you might feel anxious or fatigue or feel symptomatic and can't get a good night's sleep. Okay. Now I want to show you the red curve, the burnout curve, what you might be experiencing. And so what's happening, as you notice, it's flipped. And so you might feel super low energy, feeling anxious in the morning, reaching for coffee, like, I don't want to go to work. I don't even have the energy. I'm so done already. I feel like I probably did a marathon or worked out before my day even started. And so that's what's going on, is you're not having enough cortisol. And then it's spiking up and going up at the end of the day where it should be low. And that's where you might be feeling very symptomatic right before bedtime. Okay, so I just want to kind of visually show you what might be going on. All right, so we have 5 strategies that you can use to bring your cortisol levels down. And I would like for you to take some notes, and maybe applying some of these strategies might be helpful. But as always, if you want to dive deeper into what's going on, what is your hormones doing, what is your cortisol doing, hit me up, and I would love to support you, and we can run some labs to see exactly what is going on. But these are 5 strategies that you can use today. And the first one is, and I know this might be a little difficult, because for me, I know it is. I love to stay up. I love to sleep in. But number 1 is to go to bed and wake up at the same time every day, even on weekends. I know we love to watch our movies. As educators too, we love to, during the summertime, stay up late and sleep in. But if you can stay consistent, your body will naturally be able to wake up at the same time, as well as start to feel sleepy at the same time as well. So that's the first thing, is to go to bed and wake up at the same time, even on weekends. Okay, give that a try. Number 2 is to regulate your circadian rhythm, which is your sleep-wake cycle. One tip that I would love to share with you is to get some daylight exposure, which strengthens your circadian rhythm. So when you wake up, don't look at your screen on your phone or look at your laptop or your computer or your TV. The first light should be to expose yourself to sunlight. So within 30 to 60 minutes of waking up, go outside and expose your eyes to that natural light. And that will help to regulate your circadian rhythm or your sleep-wake cycle. So give that a try. If you want to take it a step further, not only go outside when you wake up, but sunset. Go outside as well. And that is a good way to let your body know it is time to start to feel sleepy. Okay. So the same thing is go outside during sunrise or when you wake up, as well as in the evening during sunset. All right. Now, number 3 here. This one's a hard one too, I know. And I've come a long way, and you might be like me. And I talked about that. If you are starting to feel that you need energy, sometimes we run to that caffeine, that good old coffee. So if you are a caffeine lover or coffee drinkers, I'm not going to tell you to stop, but I will tell you to try to, reduce the amount of caffeine and to stop at least around noon, if so, a little bit before noon. So then caffeine is not in your system, because caffeine is a stimulant and that can keep you up. So reduce your caffeine intake. If you do drink coffee, try to stop before noon. A good strategy that I had a client share with me, because she was having such a difficult time to cut her caffeine, is she would drink her coffee. She would give herself, she was like drinking 4 cups a day, but she told herself, okay, I'm going to just have about 1 cup. And that 1 cup that I'm going to drink, I will drink it before I go to work. So within like an hour and a half or so. And then she would make herself some tea to replace the coffee, because she likes that warm drink in the morning. And so she just replaced her other 2 or 3 cups of coffee with tea that she would walk out of the house with. And so that helped her to be able to reduce her amounts throughout the day. So that might work for you. Okay. Number 4, this is a good one too, is to wear. I don't know if you've heard of these before, but this is a blue light blocker glasses, and this is very helpful. And so you want to wear this in the evening time. I know as professionals and educators, we are constantly on our laptop. So I'm not going to say to not be on your laptop at night, but to protect your eyes, this blue light blocker glasses is very helpful to protect your eyes, to reduce strain, to reduce headaches. Also, blue light can prevent the hormone melatonin, which we need to start to feel sleepy at night. And so we want to block that blue light. So get you a pair of these. You can get them on Amazon. You can hit me up and I can let you know where to purchase these. But this is helpful in the evenings if you're on your laptop or watching TV, to protect your eyes, and also so you can produce that melatonin to start to feel sleepy at night and to get a good night's rest. All right. And number 5, this is to create a bedtime routine every night. This helps to your cortisol to come down. So start winding down 30 to 60 minutes before you go to sleep. And some ideas of like winding down is what helps relax you. Maybe a nice bath, maybe reading or journaling or coloring or drawing or praying. Whatever it is that helps you to relax your mind and to relax your body, do that within 30 to 60 minutes. And then create a space in your room, a dark space. So you might need to get some blackout curtains to create a dark space and a cool space. Okay. I know a lot of times we love our heat, while we're sleeping, or sometimes the fan might be helpful for those who want to have a cool room. But also, I know what helps me is to prevent outside noise, like dogs barking or street, cars, is to have like a noise machine or some type of, a noise machine to help reduce the outside noise from coming in. So create like a space where it's cool, dark, which studies show when it's a cool place, a cool room, it helps with deeper sleep. Okay. So a cool room, a dark room, and a relaxing room. Okay. Avoid screens before sleep, because like I said, that can definitely inhibit melatonin in your body. So 5 steps is to go to bed on time and to wake up on time. Okay. Second thing is to go out and get some natural sunlight when you wake up, also during sunset. 3 is to avoid coffee or caffeine before bed. Try to reduce your intake and try to stop it at least before noon. Okay. Number 4 is to get yourself a pair of blue blocker glasses if you are working on your laptop or looking at screens at night to prevent that blue light and eye strain and headaches. And then 5, to create a routine every night, 30 to 60 minutes to relax your mind, to relax your body, so then you can get a full night's rest. So I hope those 5 tips are helpful for you. I would love to hear maybe what you do in the comments below to help you to get some sleep, to help you to reduce your cortisol levels so you can get a full night's rest and feel rested throughout the day. If, like I said, you want to look into more like what's going on in your body, I definitely can help you with functional labs to see what your cortisol is looking like, your hormones are looking like. Okay, so my friends, that was our episode today for hormones and burnout and why you are tired, wired, and overwhelmed. I want to invite you to come back every week for some strategies, for some tips that you can apply to your life, or we can have guests that I would interview from around the world as well. Hit me up if you are interested. We would love to have you. And I just want to encourage you today to stay lit, keep shining, and ignite freedom. And we will see you next week for another episode of From Weeping to Warrior, Igniting Freedom with Roshawn Nicole. We'll see you next week.
Thank you for tuning in to From Weeping to Warrior, Igniting Freedom with Roshawn Nicole. To be a guest on the show, please contact us at info@RoshawnNicoleWellness.com. We would love to connect with you, so please take a moment to like, subscribe, and follow us on all social media platforms. We look forward to having you join us next time for Weeping to Warrior, Igniting Freedom with Roshawn Nicole.